there. In Whitechapel, Dr. Sponsor's got new dialogue, and I feel like I've been hit with the big sad. Ow, asshole. Now, booga 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 booga. Okay. What's this? Quarantined. Oh, of course I can open it. Hey, oh. Hey, oh. Oh, that's not good at all. Please stop. No! Okay. Right. Right. Okay. That was interesting. This. And that. Also grab this. And that. Alright. I'm not sure what's really here. But only one way to find out. Got the yeet ability. What's in here?
Hello, sir.
There's somebody living
Sorry
here?
to disturb you at
Jesus.
this hour. I'm a doctor inquiring about the epidemic. May I come in?
A doctor, you say? No, thank you.
Mesmerize level 3 required.
All right.
Okay. I'll come back for that ass. Don't you worry. Guess I never went down there before. Right through there. Oh, I need blood. Yeah.
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion.
Holy shit.
Shed your skin, forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves
Holy
who
shit.
bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon.
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by
You
them,
have...
or I shall return
Man.
as your judge and jury.
What the hell?
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
So they send, like, a long-armed Triple H as a warning. That's nice. Well, you did such a good job. My turn. Gotta feed, baby. Now we're merging the enemies. That was a big boy. Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, yeah. Somebody down there? Two skulls. Alright. I'll let them be. Because I'm closing in on Whitechapel anyhow. Then I get to. Deal with this. Deal with this guy. At least there wasn't one behind me. Grateful for that. Can I come in? No. Oh, hey. Oh no. Oh shit. Heavy boy. Oh, wait. Ow. Oh no! Oh! Get that shit out of my house! Get out of here. Oh, yeah. Alright. What is happening? Oh, I think it's because I, like, royally fucked over Whitechapel by eating people. So now... the repercussions are taken in effect.
Spotted! Watch out! God walks with me. Fear no evil. We do the Lord's work here.
Yeah. Oh.
Bloody leech!
Get out of here. Okay. Getting closer. Alright. Alright. Here we are. Critical. Alright, so who must I cure? Joe Peterson, Barrett Lewis, that asshole, Xiao Xun. Alright. Nethercott. Where can he be found? Okay, not there yet. Nope, not you, but you over here. I need you
Good evening, Mr.
nice and healthy.
Do you need me? I understand you.
Okay,
I'll leave you.
give him that. And let's just
Hello again.
say something.
Tell me, Camellia, how are things now the dispensary is closed?
Damn.
Very well.
She's good. She's really good. Hasn't said a single word so far. I can't wait to eat
Good
you.
evening.
It's fuck.
Don't you?
They
No doubt. Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
If you propagate the devil's work, you'll perish by the devil's work. Such is the law of the Lord.
Right.
I have heard it.
Alright, and then these two bastards down here.
You again?
Can I
Keep you.
There is all right. Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I saw her wandering the streets. Yesterday, I think.
Huh.
She didn't
Really?
recognize me. People say she's lost it.
Goodbye.
Okay, then this guy. Hey, hey.
Fancy
You never. Right then.
Gotta heal you.
Do you need to be on it? I do. That's all.
And Mason Swansboro now has a migraine. Oh, that's what that guy. Yeah. Okay, that's a secret guy. All right. See how soon. I don't know where the hell to find her.
I know it's hard to believe, but this
Nothing over there. I hear baby crying. Somebody stop that baby from crying.
This is despicable.
How long have we known each other? Well, we even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake. I prefer not to keep
Over here? Loretta.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Ah. There you go, wandering the streets.
Good evening, Xiaoshu.
晚上好, Dr. Reed. It's good to see you again.
How do you...
I don't...
Got you covered. Boom.
How do you feel now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to follow your advice, sir. I won't forget the dead, but my efforts will be for the living.
I've no doubt. That is a wise and useful attitude in this part of town.
To be completely honest with you, I'm also doing this for myself. If I'm destined to survive this epidemic, I need my life to have some purpose.
Do you still think about your departed husband?
Of course I do. I'll never forget my beloved Matthew, but how do I put it? Now I miss him more than I want him back.
I know what you mean. And I think it means you're getting better.
Maybe death will take me the way it took Matthew. Without warning and without mercy. But until then, I live on.
Okay.
What are you doing with your time now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to help the poor and sick of the neighborhood by handing out medicine.
That's very charitable of you. But why do it at night?
I've noticed that the most desperate people tend to go out after dark. Hence my presence, to help them when I can.
Giving out medicine? How can you afford to do that?
I am a rich widow, Dr. Reed. My departed husband left me enough money to last the rest of my life. I can spend some on those who don't have any.
Why don't you move to a better neighborhood?
I thought about it, I confess. To go back to the same empty home every day still hurts me a lot.
Why stay here then?
I am a woman of habit, Dr. Reed. And for now, I am happier being useful in a familiar place than I would be anywhere else.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I heard that she used to help the refugees, but unfortunately you don't see her around anymore.
Oof.
Goodbye.
Thinking about it. Or the big eat. Alright, so now that everybody's recovering, right? Except for this guy. He's on his own. Alright. Let's go to this church and pray. Maybe I'll find the vampiric Triple H at this church, and I gotta fight him. Maybe.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest. As you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
She was murdered.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What words would you like to say to your poor sister?
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now, and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
There. I confessed to that vicar. Do I feel better? Only time will tell.
That vicar was really cool about it. Not sure if you really thought that I did it or not. Maybe that's just how I was back in the day. I shot my sister in the face, but I came here to say that I'm sorry. It's like, you know what? If you're cool with the Lord, you're cool with me, dude. Yeehaw. Oh, I guess I'll take that right as a bonus.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh, wait a minute. Give me that neck, doggy. Ah! Gotcha, bitch. Alright. Well, he said he was sorry, so I'm gonna say this man was innocent. That's it. That's exactly how it happened. It's like, what evidence supports his claim? He told me he was sorry. And the Lord was watching. Boom. Got away scot-free. No. Hey, no, I'm here. Or maybe not. That guy knows, yeah. Steady what? Steady what? Steady what? Steady what? Oh my god, damn. That's right, everybody's taking big naps. Especially you. Hey, big nap for you. Oh, the suck. Sorry, that's what this playthrough should be called. Vampyr, the suck. I think... Oh.
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you.
The hell?
Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making. This is your doing. You made me this creature. What are you? I am the land. You are our champion. You selected me, chose me, as shall my children yet to come. What is it you seek? This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged. This has something to do with the epidemic. Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
It kind of looked like Hela
I've had enough of others making decisions
from
for
Thor
me,
Ragnarok.
pretending to know how I should feel or behave.
Right?
So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
I just have cigarettes. Common trigger card. Okay. The good Lupara. 317, 296. 360. Damn! I just need one more. Man, I didn't choose, did I? There you go. Yep, sounds about right. This Kujal. Alright. Is that Mr. Lucy? Was that Mr. Lucy? Perhaps. Perhaps it was. Let's see what Swansea's got to say.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the guard.
You said anything about hiding?
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned.
Cheeky.
By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
Jonathan, please. I can't rely on anyone else. And this concerns you as it involves vampires. Someone has taken advantage of our more liberal tendencies here.
In what way?
Jonathan, I may turn my head when you or her ladyship indulge, but I will not allow this place to become a nest for street feeders.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Yeah, no, that look was intense. Just like 15 seconds of staring.
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCallum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Oh, put an end to... Sean Hampton's savagery. Okay.
If you don't mind,
I'd be delighted.
I just recently met the strangest creature in Whitechapel. He was immense. He mocked me and accused me of hypocrisy.
Perhaps it was a skull. London's streets are overflowing with them these days.
It was a vampire, all right. But what kind, I'm not sure. He was large and very fast.
If you find anything more about this creature, the Brotherhood would greatly appreciate any information you could spare.
He was observing me with the obvious intent to do me harm. His very presence evoked a palpable sense of menace.
You need to be careful, Jonathan. You've no idea what this creature really is.
What exactly happened here while I was absent?
Hampton turned, quite violently as it happened. Lurking about, attacked Miss Jones. To say he created quite a commotion would be an understatement.
Are you sure it was Hampton that killed Miss Jones?
There was blood everywhere, but no body. And you know the state she was in. I fear for what he did with her. Hopefully he just hid the corpse.
How did the Guard of Priwen come to hear of this?
McCallum has spies everywhere. He will jump at any opportunity to disparage the Brotherhood and show his contempt.
I recently tried to enter a church. It has been a very unpleasant experience.
The Brotherhood's research on the matter of faith and vampirism has proved somewhat insubstantial, to say the least.
Is this proof that I'm cursed in the eyes of the divine?
The wrath of the Almighty? There's no way of knowing. It could be subconscious guilt, or irrational fear, or deep-seated beliefs.
It's hard to explain in terms of science, that's for sure.
I'm sure Lady Ashbury will have far greater insight into this matter than little old me.
Who was that man in your office?
Geoffrey McCallum, actual leader of the Guard of Priwen. I suspect he's the man behind the rebirth of this old and dusty society.
They know I'm here now, don't they?
I understand your need for blood and will not get in your way. But if you could refrain from feeding within these walls, it would go a long way to defending your case.
What do they hope to achieve?
Their ultimate goal is the eradication of all vampires in the country. They see you as a threat to mankind, Jonathan.
Thank you, Ed.
Alright. So, Sean Hampton. Yep. George McCallum will get the big slap later, I feel.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Guess I gotta go back. Oh. Oh.
The daily routine.
Took out that trash-talking Miss Jones.
What on earth happened here?
Oh, shit. I get to be an investigative man? No? No, there's nothing to investigate. But that is pretty intense.
The pain.
Alright. Succeeded. All set.
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman. Butchered by some savage scowl.
Can we share
Would
this
you
meal?
care to partake in this meal with me?
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent. For there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Apparently being a vampire is being amongst the damned and unholy.
Have you embraced this woman? Like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they ask.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
Thank you.
Alright.